All right. Today we kind of got like a different type of video where I'm just going to go ahead and record myself installing Arch Linux. I'm going to do it in VMware Workstation. So, yeah, let's screw around. I have nothing really else to do, so. And I will give you my live reactions to this. I have never done this before, so this will be a first for me. I did read a little bit about it before starting this, so I do want to like go into this saying like, look, I kind of know about it. We're just gonna leave this as Ubuntu 64-bit. We're gonna call it Arch. Hold on. I'm gonna put the microphone down. People are texting me. Alrighty. So we're going to do Arch Linux. I did read a few things on how to install it, so we're going to go through that. I didn't really want to spoil myself too much, so I left a lot of the stuff out, but kind of want to go into this as blindly as I physically can. Alrighty. Finish. Yeah, I don't care. Put this in UEFI mode, and we'll start the system. Oh, that's funny. It plays through the speakers. All right. So we don't get any kind of graphical user interface. We choose that during the install. We're gonna go ahead and just do this because I want the full Monty. So I did read online that to install Arch, you just type. That's it. Right? Hold on, let me refer to my notes. Oh, hold on a second. We probably want to upgrade this before we go any further. So we want pacman -syu, like that, I suppose. And then this. Like Arch install is already installed. We're just updating it and updating a few things here. Wow. There's a lot to update. Whoa. Okay, so we can't do that. I just wanted to... What? Oh, okay, here we go. Hopefully that'll have updated it to whatever the latest version is. So there's a bunch of updates to Linux that have happened since this ISO has come out, I suppose. Okay, so here is what we're looking at here. You don't have to install it, I suppose. I was just kind of going with my notes here. So we want mirrors and repositories. Select regions. Right? All right, cool. Is that... Oh, it's just going to default to whatever, I suppose. Okay. Optional repositories. Probably want multi-lib. I know a little bit about Linux, so I know that I'll probably be needing multi-lib. So I do kind of want to talk about multi-lib. What is multi-lib? So if you run Steam, for example, and you want to run an old 32-bit game, you're going to need multi-lib. It's just a requirement for a lot of things, so you want multi-lib to be installed and what have you. So we got optional repositories, disk configuration, partitioning. We're just going to do that. Hit enter. So we got better file system. We got extension 4 file system. We got XFS from... XFS was a, from what I read online, it's a fork of a BSD. And then we got Freedom 2 file system. We're just going to go with better file system because we don't really do much. Like if you're going to go with a desktop, ext4 or BetterFS. BetterFS is more desktop-y. So yeah, we want the subvolume. We have copy on write, or we can use compression. really you just want to use compression. That's what's best for your solid state drives. If you have like an NVMe solid state drive, like even the latest one, you want copy on, right? You want that compression because it's going to be seeking your drive a whole lot less with that enabled. So we are good. We don't need disk encryption or nothing like that. This is just a VM. This is not like my main desktop. So authentication. What is this? Oh, this is where we add user accounts. They should probably change that. So we're just gonna go just a VMware. We're just gonna set it as password because yep, we want to enable sudo, confirm and exit. We're not doing U2F. We're not doing two-factor authentication. Again, this is just trying a few things. So we have a lot to choose from here. We got. I want to try out KDE Plasma. That is the purpose of this. But apparently we have Cosmic, Cinnamon, Budgie, BSPWM. Awesome. So yeah, we'll probably end up trying about a couple of these desktops, but that'll be for another video. Right now we're just going to go with KDE Plasma. Graphics driver, we're just going to leave this alone because we're not installing this on a desktop. When I do eventually install Arch on a desktop, we'll mess with that later. Greeter. Alright, so we're just going to leave that alone as SDDM. I know that KDE Plasma changed from SDDM to the latest. I don't know if that's going to get changed here in the install. I thought by updating this, it would change that. I don't know if that's going to be the case. We'll find out after the case. We don't need any extra applications for network configuration. Default backend. I've always used Netmon, and I've never had a problem with it. Some people will swear by IWD. I don't. I've always used Netmon, and I've never had a problem with Netmon. If you have never, like, if your network is just like your home network or whatever, I kind of do want to touch on this. You don't really have any kind of super secure whatever. Go ahead and just stay with Netmon. You're not going to have any problems with it. But if you have like a WAN setup or what have you, you might want to use IWD. That's for your more advanced stuff. So Netmon is for your basic stuff. That's just you want to connect to the internet and you don't want to be messing with anything. We don't need any additional packages. Time zone. Set it to the best time zone on Earth. Yeah, sure. Okay, so this is like about the only spyware you'll probably ever find on systemd thing here. And it's not really spyware at all. It's just you're syncing your clock, and they collect your IP and some browser data. And if you go in and you're using like Chromium web browser, just the open source web browser there, not Firefox. Firefox will report it. But if you really want security, you can disable this as part of your like if you're creating a hardened system and you want to use Arch, you're going to want to disable time sync because having NTP enabled, it does call home. It calls to some time server somewhere. I like it. I use it. It works for me. I don't have to configure my clock. It will, and some people will disable this for another reason as well, because it'll throw off your BIOS clock. If you have NTP enabled, and a lot of Linux distributions will do this. So if you're like, you go to download Ubuntu and you wanted to test out Ubuntu on your computer, but you find out, hey, this isn't for me. And then you go to reboot into Windows, and you notice your time being off. It's because of NTP. So if you wanted to play around with Arch, you install it on your computer and you go, you know what, this isn't for me, and then you turn around and reinstall Windows, you'll find that the clock stays where it's at. And so there are multiple reasons for wanting to disable this. So it's super cool that Arch gives you this option. I don't think I have ever seen another distribution give you this option. You can go in after the fact and disable it, but having this here, that's pretty cool. You know, it's a button I'll probably never touch, but I'm glad it exists. Anyway, we're going to want to go ahead and just hit install. Yes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I like that. It gives you time to CTRL-C. I probably could start CTRL-C right here, but... Oh, no, because it already wiped. It was one of the first things it did there, is wiped it, so... Yeah, that's neat. Gives you a countdown. Oh, you know... You don't want to wipe it? You don't want to wipe it? Okay, cool. You made a mistake? You made a mistake? Oh, okay, cool. Or you want to go back to Windows? You want to go back to Windows? Okay, cool. You know, like it just gives you a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow, this is taking a while. Oh, based on your speed. Okay, well, I have a super fast internet connection, so this shouldn't take too long. Boy. I kind of want to talk about why I'm doing these long form videos. If you find this kind of thing boring or whatever, you want to kind of go with the TikTok or whatever, I will probably start making... Oh, there it goes. Oh, look at that. I will probably start making some shorter form videos, but I kind of like the longer form off the cuff style videos. This is what kind of makes me happy. This has been super painless so far. Outside of it being text-based, like with these ASCII characters here, not too shabby. I like this. And I'm not using any kind of notes or anything like that. I'm just using a little bit of just experience that I've had with Linux in the past and what have you. And I do want to talk about my experience here a bit with Linux. So, geez, this is going really fast. Even inside of a VM, this is super fast. So with Linux, I've tried it on and off throughout the past. I've never been able to kind of stick with it longer than a month or two. This is the first time I've ever been able to stick with Linux long term without it blowing up in my face. So I'm pretty happy with Fedora so far. I have been happy with Fedora, and this has given me the confidence to kind of venture outside of Fedora. I'm doing this inside of a VM rather than doing it on my main system, so I can kind of just look at what's available out there and see what I want to do with myself and see what I want to do with my computer now that I've gotten myself super comfortable within the terminal, super comfortable within Linux, and it not blowing up in my face or having some show-stopping bugs. This is nice. So we shall see. I'm seeing Pipewire, Plasma. I don't know if I've seen SCDM or what have you, or KDE's new login manager, but we'll find out. I know when KDE Plasma updated to KDE Plasma 6.6 today. I don't know. So we're just going to go ahead and reboot the system. I don't know if it's replaced it on Arch. It looks exactly the same, but I think maybe that's what they were going for. All right, cool. So we're booting it at Arch now. Okay, so there is still no Arch logo. I kind of like the nerdier way. Oh yeah, this is definitely like older SCDM too. Like you can tell this is older. So we're just doing password as a password. Was that our Xorg? Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and skip that. All right, so this looks like KDE Plasma 6.6. We'll find out here in a second. We want to go to display configuration though first and make this usable. I'll make another video about KDE Plasma 6.6 and how the animations on 120 Hz display are a lot better. So let's go ahead and just go about this information, or about this system. Yeah, it's KDE Plasma 6.6. Wow, they're still using a very old version of Linux here. I thought for certain that they would have used the later version of Linux, and apparently they have their own flavor of Linux now? Weird, it's not the vanilla... It's not the vanilla kernel. Maybe there's a problem with some software. Maybe they had to make some changes to this to the system. I don't know. This is just my initial thoughts on this. So nice. This is decent. This is decent. This is decent. All right. So now let's go into where's console? There it is. All right. -SYU. Let's go ahead and update it. Nothing to do. Okay. So let's go ahead and check this. We didn't install any kind of backends for this. I did that on purpose. It's doing something. Okay. Does KDE Plasma now do a backend for things? So let's go ahead and just like click on something like Blender. Okay, so it's using FlatHub. Okay, so you don't get the option to choose their repositories without that back end. So yeah, I don't know how to install and configure a backend for Arch or anything like that. I do know they exist. Again, I'm going through my notes, and these are like things that I noted to be aware of. And so, yeah, my initial what have you to this is fine. It looks like a much more technical Linux distribution. I don't see any kind of hand-holding, and what you get upon your post install is extremely bare bones. I mean, we are talking as bare bones as it gets. I have never seen such a clean distro like this. This is beautiful. I kind of like this. I am kind of in love with this. I like how, okay, so this page is missing some sensors and will not display correctly. Okay, so we're going to have to install LM sensors. So let's do that. -S. Okay, so I have to change my mindset here. So instead of using whatever Fedora uses. All right, so LMSENSORS, I believe. Target not found for LM sensors. All right, I don't even get a. So let's go ahead and look for a browser. We got Firefox here. Let's look for IUM. Let's look for Chromium. Okay, so we got ungoogled Chromium and we have Chromium web browser. I don't know what the difference is. So we're just going to go do Chromium without Google and see what they give us. Wow, that took a while. So yeah, apparently Flatpak is kind of slow. But we're going to go ahead and run all of our applications through FlatHub. Now, if I were going to run this long term, I'd probably use just like the regular Chromium. Neat. Okay, so we got a browser now. But what's with that icon? Looks nothing like the icon like it's supposed to. Oh, wow. They definitely like... What in the world? Oh, it's just displaying it improperly. That might be just down to the the VM experience here. Well, you know what? Let's check a few. I don't really care. Is what it is. Oh yeah. This site can't be reached. What? We're connected. Oh. Oops. I know I'm using Google. I'm using Google and on Google Chromium. I think it's great. So. Oh, it's LM underscore sensors. I'm stupid. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that's really bare bones. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Let's go back into System Monitor. Page is missing some sensors and will not. So let's look for a fix. Okay, so, yeah, this wouldn't have worked if I didn't install LM sensors. Okay, this is just, there is absolutely no hand-holding going on here. I am in love with it. I'm in love with the idea. But I can also see how this could be very concerning for a new user. This is not something I would recommend to a new user. This is a much more advanced Linux distribution. It just expects you to know how to use Linux. It expects you to know what things are. I only know of LM sensors because I had an issue with it on Fedora, and I had to do something where I had to reinstall LM sensors to get that functionality. So, yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up now. And then... yeah, I'm going to give you some final thoughts on this. So the installation was really straightforward, really easy. It works really well. It doesn't offer any hand-holding, which I both love and hate. Some people don't like the hand-holding, and I can understand that. So if, like, I'm doing something and I know what I'm doing, and you're going to come into my space and tell me how to do my job, I'm going to get very upset with you. And so I kind of like Arch from that perspective. So I feel like when I know more about Linux, I'm going to go ahead and probably switch to like Arch or Gentoo at some point. Anyway, that was a really cool experience. I rather enjoyed that. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here. I have a couple of things I need to do. And then when I'm done those things, I'm going to go ahead and record another video. And while I'm recording that other video, I'm going to go ahead and upload this one. Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please feel free to subscribe. If you have any kind of comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them below. Make sure to hit that bell, and I shall see you guys later.